Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Reshma Mukherjee. You are welcome to my channel to read more on ISC ICSE content, which is today's topic is the haunted houses. You must be thinking why I have brought haunted houses all over again. The whole explanation is there. But yes, we are going to discuss a bit of a summary, bit of figures of speech, which we have not discussed in the previous class. So do check the complete line-wise explanation video. Come back over here to get a bit of a summary. So the summary of this poem is, I'll read it out, I'll explain it to you and hope this will help your task a bit. In this poem, Longfellow reflects on the idea that all houses where people have lived and died are haunted. So all these houses that they have lived, every house is haunted. Everywhere, some entity is there who do not have a body. These houses are visited by phantoms who move silently through open doors and all along the passages. Okay, they are present everywhere. The ghosts are quiet and inoffensive. They don't hurt you, they don't harm you, like the pictures on the wall. Just like you have pictures on the wall, these are already present there, but they don't harm you at all. The speaker perceives more than what meets the eye. Okay, the speaker, he can feel it. That is why he's writing a poem on it. That is why we did not think about it, that all around us probably there are hundreds of ghosts. We don't think about it. So the speaker is more emotional rather than us. Okay, he is more sensitive to these things. They see forms and hear sounds that others cannot. The speaker can see them. The ones who are more sensitive to these can see certain things which the others cannot. The absence of title deeds to houses and lands allows the spirits of earlier occupants to linger, stretching their dusty hands from forgotten graves. Okay, so the title deeds, we do not have it of our house, but it actually belongs to the owners, the real owners of the houses who are dead and gone. But actually they are not gone, they are here, okay, because they are highly attached to the house. Alright, next, Longfellow suggests that there exists a spirit world beyond our earthly senses, an atmosphere of ethereal air that influences our lives. We believe they are not here, but of course they are here. It is just like an undiscovered planet that influences us. But we don't know how it influences us, how it impacts us, but it is of course there. To explain it even in further detail, he says, our desires and aspirations are influenced by an unseen star or undiscovered planet in the sky. The poem concludes with a metaphor. Just as the moon casts a bridge of light over the sea, it's a connection. The moonlight is a connection with the moon and the earth. Okay? And this bridge of light is connecting our world to that mysterious world that is undiscovered yet, mystery and the night. So, it does a bridge of light connects the spiritual world to our reality, allowing our thoughts to wander above the dark abyss. Ones who want to realize it, ones who want to feel it, just like the speaker, they can of course try and understand it, because there is of course a bridge of light. There is something that connects us. Just we do not know it yet. It's not yet discovered. Okay, so this is the basic summary where Longfellow is talking about his sensitivity to the elements present in the house. House over here also means the world. They are always there everywhere. Now, if we move on to the points that are very significant over here. Number one, what does he mean by haunted houses? Just as I told you, the poem begins by asserting that all houses where people have lived and died are haunted. So these houses are infested, we should not say invested, we will say that inhabited by phantoms. There are a lot many phantoms over here who move silently through open doors, leaving no trace at all. So the idea of this harmless phantom suggests that these spirits are not malevolent, but they are part of the natural order. They are present there. It's not that they are something that is very uncommon and should not be there. Their presence is a common factor. Now, impalpable impressions, what does it mean? The ghosts leave impalpable impressions on the air. They make no impact. Okay, they make no sound. Just like I'm moving, I'm making a sound. But they don't make a sound. They don't have the body. It emphasizes their intangible nature. The speaker senses their presence because he is sensitive enough to understand, even though others cannot perceive them. Next one is the quiet ghosts over here. The illuminated hall is filled with these quiet, inoffensive ghosts. They are akin to they're similar to the silent pictures on the wall. The stranger at the fireside perceives only the present, the ones who have the body. Okay, but the speaker can feel the presence of the ones who do not have a body as well. Next, ownership and mortmain. I've already told you this is another point which we can get questions from. The absence of like the title deeds that we feel that we have, it is not we that are the real owners of the house. The real owners are the ones who are dead, and because they are so very connected to this house, they are always coming back to the house. We feel that they are forgotten in the graves, but they want to come back to the house because they are really connected to this house. The spirit world and the equipoise is another significant question that can come. The spirit world exists alongside our earthly reality. We believe that we are only real, the rest of the world is not real, but of course not. That undiscovered planet of the bodiless, they are also very much real. Like the ethereal atmosphere, our lives are kept in balance. Our balance is maintained because of their presence. Okay, the instinct that enjoys and the nobler instinct that aspires. Just like our brain have two sides, as I showed you in the picture as well in the explanation video. There are two sides in our brain, like in the comic books, one good side and the bad side, the devil side and the angel side. Same way, this is also maintaining the balance because they are contradictory, they maintain the balance. Next one, the unseen star and the bridge of light. What is this? The poem introduces the concept of this unseen star or an undiscovered planet influencing our desires and aspirations. Okay, like the moon casting a bridge of light over the sea, a bridge connects the spirit world to our reality, and if we want to understand them, we can of course allow our thoughts to wander around and try and understand the reality of this. Okay, this is an abyss of mystery, an open space of mystery. Longfellow's imagery and metaphors, that is why, serve a purpose of helping us to be more sensitive towards these kind of presence. Okay. Now, if we talk about the figures of speech over here, we have the simile. And before I move into the figures of speech, I will tell you, for short explanations, for short allusions, for the Julius Caesar portion, the allusions, if you want, the more important lines, the Greek myths, the connection with the Greek myths that can come as an MCQ, as a long answer question, right? So those, for the figures of speech, every line to explain, if you want to know where are the figures of speech, and if you don't want to waste much time, you have other subjects also to study. Don't forget to join my Instagram channel. Okay, there I post 1-minute videos. Even YouTube shorts also will help you. You can check any of them. Either of them will help you. They have 1-minute videos which will help you to grasp certain lines which are very important. Julius Caesar में हम सब कुछ ऐसे याद नहीं रख सकते. We cannot remember everything. So if you can watch those videos when you are free, just like you are swiping Instagram reels, it will help you to keep it in your memory. Okay, so that in your exam, if you get such a line, you can write it. If you want to quote it, that way also you will be able to remember it. Okay, all the allusions I'm trying to give it as reels or as Instagram, as YouTube shorts. Okay, so figures of speech, coming back to it. Simile. A simile is a comparison using like or as. Where do we get it? As silent as the pictures on the wall. Okay. Metaphor, we get a metaphor. What is the meaning of a metaphor? It is a comparison where like or as is not used. Like lion-hearted man, where the courage of the lion is compared to the courage of man without using like or as. So metaphor example, where do we get? The illuminated hall is thronged with quiet, inoffensive ghosts. The hall is filled with ghosts. It becomes a metaphor for the idea that unseen spirits is not just present in this house, but it is present worldwide. So it is a metaphor for the world. Okay. Next one, personification. Personification means where we give human attributes to non-human elements or to inanimate substances. Right. If I say the table is crying, the table is weeping, it becomes personification of the table because the table cannot cry. Right. Personification example, where do we get it? The harmless phantoms on their errands glide. The phantoms are described as having intentions and purpose. Generally, they are non-human entities. So they have this, they are provided with this emotion of feeling, understanding, intention, purpose, that they are personified. Moving on to the next one, we can also say that there is a hyperbole. It is an exaggeration. Hyperbole is exaggeration. If I say, I will continue this channel for 1,000 years, that is not possible. because I will not survive for 1,000 years. That is why this is a hyperbole, where we are exaggerating. So hyperbole is an exaggeration. In this poem, the line is, there are more guests at table than the hosts. This is exaggeration. जितने hosts है उससे बहुत ज़्यादा, there are more guests at the table than the hosts. More guests have come. So exaggeration emphasizes the abundance of ghosts. Moving on to the next part, we have alliteration. I have already explained you 1,000 times. It is a repetition of consonant sounds. So example, impalpable impressions on the air, I sound. You can find many alliterations in the poem if you search them. Enjambment, important. Generally from CBSE point of view, this is important, but also try to learn it in case it comes in your exam. You can write it as MCQ or mostly it will come as an MCQ only. Enjambment means एक line आप लिखते लिखते उस पर कोई punctuation नहीं use किया. You haven't used any punctuation in that line. You move to the next line and complete that sentence. Understood? Start a line, you do not finish it in this line, you move to the next line and then you put a full stop in the middle. You complete the line. So, the first line is not having any punctuation, neither it is complete. You move on to the next line to complete the sentence. That is your enjambment. Where do we find it? The stranger at my fireside cannot see. Next line, the forms I see. The lack of a pause emphasizes the continuity of perception of that idea. It moves on to the next line to find completion. Okay. Moving on to the next one, we have imagery. From the word itself, you can understand imagery का मतलब है image, coming from helping you to give it an image. When you read it, you are not seeing a picture beside it, right? Like in class 1 and 2, you had poems and beside it you had pictures. But when you read it, you can also imagine, just like the way I put pictures behind me, okay? It helps you to give you an idea what is happening. How do I create that picture? Just because that image is created in my brain when I read the poem. Okay, so imagery can be visual imagery, can be auditory imagery that you are hearing. Tinkling of bells, that is auditory imagery. You are not hearing it, but when you read it, you can feel it, feel the sound. Visual, when you don't see it, but actually you can imagine that you are seeing it. Blue sky with the birds flying, like that. So imagery over here, throws over the sea a floating bridge of light. You can imagine this is a visual imagery. The image of the moon casting a bridge of light that is falling on the earth. Okay. So, moving on to the next one, symbolism. Symbolism is a kind of a symbol that is attached to, just like house actually means the world. Okay. Again, the bridge of light is actually a connection which symbolizes link between the visible and the unseen realms. Okay. Last one, last figure of speech for today is paradox. What is paradox? Paradox means, as I told you, oxymoron means opposite words sitting side by side. Paradox means opposite ideas sitting side by side. When you move to class 11, you will have Macbeth introduced. In Macbeth, you will find in Act 1, Scene 1, fair is foul, foul is fair, hover through the fog and fill the air. So, fair is foul, foul is fair, opposite concepts. No? One side you are saying whatever is bad is good. Other side you are saying whatever is good is bad. Opposite ideas sitting side by side becomes paradox. Our little lives are kept in equipoise by opposite attractions and desires. How is this idea opposite? The balance between opposing instincts, opposite ideas creates a paradox over here. They are opposite, right? The real world and the world that is yet undiscovered. They are maintaining the equipoise. They are maintaining the balance. This is an opposite, contrasting idea. That is why it is serving the purpose of a paradox. So we have discussed the literary devices as many possible. You can find even more because there are hundreds of figures of speech. Okay. If you read more, you will find more. If you find anything else, do write to me in the comment section. I'll tell you whether it is applicable or not. Okay, you have metonymy, you have signing toshing, you have many other figures of speech. So try to find them as well. If you find any more, I will be very glad to read it. And if you have any other doubts in haunted houses, do write to me. I will put some MCQs as well if you want them. Do let me know. According to that, we will continue with the other questions, answers, MCQs. That is all. See you in my next class. And of course, don't forget to check the shorts or the reels in Instagram so that you can memorize the points better. Okay, thank you so much. Bye-bye.